I have a deep sense of, of not really making it my project. My project is to respond.
The Vatican's decision to restructure Caritas Internationalis, one of the Catholic Church's most prominent humanitarian organizations, was not taken lightly. Pope Francis, known for his hands-on approach to addressing systemic challenges within the Church, framed the move as a necessary step toward ensuring the organization's long-term effectiveness and alignment with gospel values. The rationale for this restructuring, as outlined in an official Vatican statement, reflected the Church's growing emphasis on transparency, accountability, and efficiency in its global operations. At the heart of the decision was an independent evaluation commissioned by the Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development. The review focused on Caritas Internationalis' workplace environment, governance structure, and operational practices. While the audit did not uncover financial misconduct or instances of abuse, it identified critical issues in management and internal communication. These shortcomings had reportedly undermined morale among employees and hindered the organization's ability to fulfill its mission effectively. The Vatican emphasized that the restructuring was not intended as a punishment, but rather as an opportunity to renew the organization. Pope Francis described the move as a means of fostering greater unity, enhancing professional standards, and preparing Caritas to better address the evolving challenges faced by marginalized communities worldwide. The decision reflected the Pope's broader vision of a church that operates not only as a spiritual beacon, but also as a model of ethical and effective governance. One key aspect of the Vatican's justification was its commitment to Caritas's critical mission. With operations spanning over 200 countries and territories, the organization is a lifeline for millions of people affected by poverty, natural disasters, and conflict. Its role in providing relief and advocating for social justice is central to the Church's global identity. By addressing deficiencies in management, the Vatican aimed to strengthen Caritas's capacity to respond to these urgent needs, while maintaining its reputation as a trustworthy and impactful institution. The restructuring also reflected Pope Francis's ongoing efforts to reform the Church's administrative structures. Since the beginning of his papacy, Francis has prioritized transparency and accountability, particularly within organizations handling significant resources. Caritas Internationalis, with an annual income exceeding €5 million and significant donor contributions, was no exception. Pope recognized that the organization's ability to maintain donor trust and uphold its mission required a robust governance framework capable of adapting to contemporary challenges. To oversee the transition, Pope Francis appointed Pier Francesco Pinelli, a seasoned management consultant with Jesuit training, as the interim administrator. Pinelli was tasked with implementing the audit's recommendations, preparing for the next General Assembly, and ensuring a smooth leadership transition. The Vatican's confidence in Pinelli's ability to navigate this complex process underscored its commitment to professionalizing the organization's operations while preserving its spiritual foundation. The Vatican's justification for the restructuring was not without its critics. Some questioned the timing of the decision and its potential impact on the organization's operations during a period of transition. However, the Vatican maintained that the move was essential for safeguarding Caritas's long-term sustainability and effectiveness. Pope Francis himself expressed his hope that the reorganization would serve as a model for how the Church could evolve to meet the needs of a rapidly changing world. Ultimately, the restructuring of Caritas Internationalis was a reflection of the Vatican's broader commitment to renewal and reform. By addressing internal challenges and prioritizing excellence in governance, the Church sought to ensure that one of its most visible humanitarian arms could continue to embody the values of compassion, service, and justice. In this way, the Vatican's decision was not only a response to immediate concerns, but also a proactive step toward a more effective and accountable future for Caritas Internationalis.
And it seems that I needed people who saw or who see something in me.
The unexpected dismissal of Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle from his leadership role in Caritas Internationalis shocked many in the Catholic community, raising questions about the motivations behind the Vatican's decision. Known for his humility, compassion, and alignment with Pope Francis's progressive vision, Tagle's removal marked a significant moment in the Church's ongoing reforms. While the Vatican emphasized that the move was aimed at improving governance and operational efficiency, it also highlighted the challenges of maintaining accountability in a global institution as vast as Caritas. The decision followed an independent audit commissioned by the Vatican's Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development. This evaluation examined Caritas Internationalis management and workplace environment, revealing systemic issues that required immediate attention. Although the report found no evidence of financial misconduct or sexual impropriety, it pointed to deficiencies in management practices that negatively affected teamwork, employee morale, and overall effectiveness. The findings underscored the need for structural change to ensure the organization could continue its mission of serving the world's most vulnerable populations. Pope Francis, known for his commitment to reform, took decisive action by decommissioning the entire leadership team, including Cardinal Tagle, who served as the president of Caritas. Despite his prominent title, Tagle was not involved in the organization's daily operations, which likely shielded him from direct accountability for the identified issues. Nevertheless, his removal signaled the Vatican's broader intent to reset the organization's governance and enhance its capacity to address modern challenges. In the wake of this decision, Pier Francesco Pinelli, a management expert with Jesuit training, was appointed as a temporary administrator to oversee the transition. Pinelli's mandate included preparing for the next General Assembly, where new leadership, including a president, secretary general, and treasurer, would be elected. This restructuring aimed to reinforce Caritas's effectiveness while aligning its operations more closely with gospel values and best practices in modern governance. Cardinal Tagle's response to the dismissal was marked by grace and humility. At a handover conference in Rome, he expressed his gratitude to the outgoing leadership team and emphasized that the restructuring was not a personal indictment, but rather a call for collective discernment and renewal. "This is not about sexual harassment, abuse, or financial mismanagement," he stated firmly, addressing the speculations head-on. Instead, he viewed the move as an opportunity to strengthen the organization's commitment to its mission and to foster a culture of collaboration and respect. The dismissal also underscored the complexity of leading an organization as influential and diverse as Caritas Internationalis, which operates in over 200 countries through 162 member organizations. With a 2020 income exceeding €5 million, primarily funded by member contributions and external donations, Caritas plays a critical role in Catholic relief and development efforts worldwide. Ensuring its continued efficiency and integrity is paramount, particularly in a time when the Church faces growing scrutiny over transparency and accountability. For Cardinal Tagle, the experience was both a challenge and an opportunity. While his removal from Caritas sparked speculation about his future within the Church, it also reaffirmed his commitment to the values of humility, service, and reform. His role as President Emeritus of Caritas, along with his ongoing responsibilities within the Vatican's dicastery for evangelization, ensures that his influence within the Church remains significant. The episode highlighted not only the challenges of leadership in a global religious institution, but also the resilience required to adapt and grow in the face of change. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle's response to his dismissal as president of Caritas Internationalis was a masterclass in humility and grace, reflecting his deep spiritual grounding and commitment to the Church's mission. Rather than expressing resentment or frustration, Tagle embraced the decision as an opportunity for renewal and discernment. His reaction not only underscored his personal integrity but also reinforced his reputation as a compassionate leader dedicated to the values of service and community. When the restructuring was announced, Tagle addressed the transition in a handover conference held in Rome. He was clear and emphatic, stating, This is not about sexual harassment or abuse, nor is it about mismanagement of finances." Repeating the phrase 3 times, he sought to dispel any misconceptions about the nature of the Vatican's decision. For Tagle, the restructuring was not a judgment against individuals, but a call to strengthen the organization for the challenges ahead. His words were marked by a tone of gratitude and reflection. He expressed appreciation for the outgoing leadership team and their contributions, despite the difficult circumstances surrounding their departure. Tagle highlighted the importance of walking humbly with God and embracing the spirit of liberation, a message that resonated deeply with Caritas staff and supporters. He saw the reorganization not as an indictment, but as an invitation to rebuild and realign the organization with its core mission of serving the poor and marginalized. Tagle's perspective was rooted in his broader understanding of leadership and community. He acknowledged the growing challenges faced by Caritas in a rapidly changing world, including rising inequality, climate change, and geopolitical instability. In his view, the restructuring was an opportunity to equip the organization to respond more effectively to these pressing issues. He emphasized the need for collaboration, cultural sensitivity, and adherence to gospel values as guiding principles for the organization's future. Throughout his address, Tagle's words reflected a deep sense of responsibility. As President Emeritus of Caritas Internationalis, he recognized his ongoing role in supporting the organization's transition. He pledged to work closely with the interim administrator, Pier Francesco Pinelli, and the Vatican to ensure a smooth handover and prepare for the next General Assembly. His willingness to remain engaged demonstrated his unwavering commitment to Caritas and its mission. Beyond his immediate responsibilities, Tagle used the moment to inspire those within the Caritas network and the broader Catholic community. He reminded them of the organization's central purpose, to serve as a beacon of hope and compassion for those in need. By focusing on the mission rather than the controversy, Tagle reframed the narrative, emphasizing renewal and unity over division and uncertainty. Tagle's response also reflected his personal philosophy of leadership. He has long been known for his ability to connect with people from diverse backgrounds, fostering dialogue and understanding. In the wake of the restructuring, this approach became even more critical as he sought to maintain morale and encourage a sense of shared purpose among Caritas staff and partners. In the end, Cardinal Tagle's perspective on the restructuring was not one of defeat but of hope. His gracious acceptance of the Vatican's decision and his commitment to supporting the organization's renewal served as a testament to his character and vision. For Tagle, this moment was not just a challenge but an opportunity to reaffirm the values of humility, service, and community that have defined his life and ministry. It was a call to move forward with faith, resilience, and a shared commitment to the greater good. Luis Antonio Tagle's journey to the priesthood began in the vibrant and bustling streets of Manila, where he grew up in a modest but devoutly Catholic family. Born on June 21, 1957, Tagle was immersed in a close-knit community that prioritized faith, education, and service. These values, instilled by his parents, deeply influenced the course of his life. From an early age, it was clear that he possessed a natural charisma and a profound sense of empathy, traits that would shape his future as a leader in the church. As a child, Tagle was known for his kindness, sharp intellect, and willingness to help others. His neighbors and teachers often described him as a boy who stood out not for seeking attention, but for his genuine concern for those around him. Whether it was assisting a struggling classmate or volunteering at his local parish, Tagle demonstrated an innate capacity to connect with people and make them feel valued. Initially, his aspirations were not aimed at the priesthood. Young Luis dreamed of becoming a doctor, inspired by the idea of helping others in a direct and tangible way. However, as he grew older, the calling to serve in a spiritual capacity began to take root. Encouraged by his family and local clergy, he started to consider the possibility of entering the seminary. Reflecting on this pivotal moment in his life, Tagle has often spoken about how he felt God's hand guiding him, even when he had other plans. Tagle's academic journey took him to Ateneo de Manila University, where he pursued studies in philosophy and theology. The Jesuit institution, known for its rigorous academic standards and commitment to social justice, profoundly shaped his worldview. Under the mentorship of the Jesuits, he not only excelled academically but also developed a deep understanding of the Church's mission to serve the marginalized and oppressed. His time at Ateneo solidified his belief that faith and action must go hand in hand. After completing his undergraduate studies, Tagle entered the San Jose Seminary in Manila, where he began formal preparation for the priesthood. This period of training was marked by a combination of intellectual growth, spiritual reflection, and hands-on ministry. He immersed himself in the daily lives of the faithful, learning to listen to their struggles and offer guidance. This approach to ministry, rooted in compassion and humility, would become a hallmark of his leadership style. In 1982, Tagle was ordained as a priest, a moment that marked the culmination of years of discernment and dedication. His early assignments included serving as a spiritual director and professor at the local seminary, where he quickly gained a reputation as an engaging teacher and a compassionate mentor. Tagle's ability to break down complex theological concepts into relatable lessons endeared him to both students and parishioners. Tagle's priesthood was characterized by his unwavering commitment to community and service. He believed that the role of a priest extended beyond the walls of the church, emphasizing the importance of being present in the lives of ordinary people. Whether it was visiting the sick, advocating for social justice, or simply sharing a meal with parishioners, he approached his ministry with a deep sense of purpose and humanity. Over time, Tagle's exceptional qualities caught the attention of church leaders, leading to his appointment as Bishop of Imus in 2001, and later as Archbishop of Manila in 2011. Each step in his journey was marked by a commitment to the principles he had embraced as a young man: humility, compassion, and a deep love for God and humanity. His rise to prominence within the Catholic Church is not just a testament to his personal achievements but also a reflection of his lifelong dedication to serving others with grace and authenticity. The possibility of Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle ascending to the papacy has sparked widespread speculation, fueled by his alignment with Pope Francis' vision of a compassionate and inclusive church. Often referred to as the Asian Francis, Tagle embodies many of the qualities that define the current pontiff's leadership: humility, empathy, and a focus on serving the marginalized. As the Church navigates an era of profound change, Tagle's unique blend of pastoral warmth and theological acumen positions him as a compelling candidate to lead the Catholic world. One of the key reasons Tagle is seen as a potential papal successor is his alignment with the Global South, where Catholicism is experiencing significant growth. With over 80 million Catholics in the Philippines alone, Tagle represents the vibrancy of faith in Asia, a region critical to the Church's future. His rise to prominence as the first Filipino cardinal bishop underscores his role as a symbol of Catholicism's shifting center of gravity away from Europe. Tagle's personal charisma and ability to connect with people from diverse backgrounds have earned him admiration both within and beyond the Church. His storytelling prowess, emotional intelligence, and approachability resonate with believers worldwide, making him a figure who can inspire hope and unity. These traits are particularly valuable in an age where the Church must engage with a rapidly secularizing world while addressing internal divisions. Moreover, Tagle's commitment to social justice and advocacy for the poor align with the Church's evolving priorities. As prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, he has worked tirelessly to promote interfaith dialogue and strengthen the Church's presence in underrepresented regions. His emphasis on inclusivity and compassion mirrors Pope Francis's mission to create a more accessible and understanding Church. Despite his strengths, Tagle's potential candidacy is not without challenges. Critics point to his progressive views, which may face resistance from more conservative factions within the Church. Additionally, his relatively young age compared to other papal contenders raises questions about his readiness to navigate the complexities of leading a global institution. Nevertheless, Tagle's close relationship with Pope Francis suggests that his leadership style would continue the current pontiff's legacy of reform and renewal. Whether or not he becomes the next pope, his influence within the Church is undeniable, and his example serves as a reminder of the transformative power of faith, humility, and service in today's world. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, while widely admired for his pastoral warmth and progressive vision, has not been immune to challenges and criticisms. As a prominent figure in the Catholic Church, his rise to global recognition has brought with it both support and scrutiny, revealing the complexities of navigating leadership within a deeply traditional institution undergoing significant change. One of the primary criticisms of Tagle stems from his progressive approach, which aligns closely with Pope Francis's emphasis on compassion, inclusivity, and addressing social justice issues. While these values resonate with many Catholics, they have also drawn resistance from conservative factions within the Church. Critics argue that Tagle's focus on inclusivity and modernity risks diluting traditional Catholic teachings, particularly on matters of doctrine and morality. This tension highlights the broader ideological divide between reformist and traditionalist elements within the Church. Another challenge lies in Tagle's perceived inexperience in managing large-scale organizational crises. While his pastoral skills and theological expertise are undeniable, detractors question whether he possesses the administrative acumen required to steer the Vatican through its ongoing challenges, including financial transparency, clerical abuse scandals, and internal power struggles. His removal from Caritas Internationalis, despite being positioned as a structural reorganization, has been cited by some as evidence of potential weaknesses in his leadership style. Tagle's deep emotional intelligence, while a strength in connecting with people, has also been criticized as being overly sentimental for the pragmatic demands of papal leadership. His preference for dialogue and consensus building, though often praised, is sometimes seen as a lack of decisiveness in confronting difficult or divisive issues. This has raised questions about whether he could effectively lead the Church in a time of growing polarization, both within its hierarchy and in its engagement with a rapidly changing world. Cultural and geographical biases also pose challenges for Tagle. As a cardinal from the Philippines, he represents a region that has traditionally been underrepresented in Vatican leadership. While his background symbolizes the Church's global diversity, some critics from Europe and North America question whether a non-European leader can effectively address the Church's challenges in regions where secularization and declining membership are most pronounced. Despite these criticisms, Tagle's resilience and commitment to his faith remain steadfast. His ability to inspire hope, foster unity, and connect with people on a deeply personal level continues to make him a prominent and influential figure in the Catholic Church. For every challenge he faces, Tegal approaches it with the humility and compassion that have defined his ministry, offering a vision of leadership grounded in service and renewal.